Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Naruto Gaiden chapter review. This one's going to be for chapter 8, 708, 700 plus 8, whatever you want to call it, and it's called The Real Thing. And yeah, this I thought was a really good chapter. It was very simple, but it was very to the point, and it was much needed at this point in time. They didn't focus much on Sakura and Shin Uchiha until like the very end. So they're kind of setting up that we're kind of gradually reaching the climax of this story, but instead focused on what needed to be focused on. The fact that Sarada was kind of furious after what she found out at the end of last chapter. And they rightfully so take most of the chapter to deal with that. And I thought the way it was dealt with was perfect because you had Naruto really show what he is like as a kind of older character now. And I like that he's kind of completely has that mentality that the third Hokage had, that he treats the whole village like his family, and so he wants to help everyone with their problems, just like Sarada here. And I like that the way he helps her is by effectively using the same kind of the same sort of stuff he would normally do even before he was the Hokage. That way that he was able to disarm situations just by talking to people. And a lot of people like joke and so talk no jutsu, the most powerful thing in the entire Naruto series. And yes, it is, but at the same time, that's always been something that like nearly all of the important characters have said about Naruto. That he just has this ability to kind of draw people towards him, really make them understand him and help them understand things about themselves. And so that's why we've had a lot of villains in the series be kind of talked down a little bit. So I kind of like the way that it was done with Sarada here, that he really helped her to realize that it's not all about blood ties. That's just the whole kind of cold hard facts. It's the connection, it's the love between like people, like those connections that are what really count. That is the real thing that it's referring to. That basically what he's saying to her is that, okay, so you may now know that Karin is your mother. Still don't think it's true, but as far as she's aware, that's what she knows. But you've never met her before. You don't know if she loves you, how she really feels about you. Sakura has been your mother your entire life. She does love you. And deep down you have to realize that she is your mother even though she's not the person who gave birth to you. And from there we have that moment when Sarada has a flashback. And she remembers one thing about her father. She remembers at some point her father holding her hand when she was very young. She doesn't really remember his face, but she remembers that. She remembers being sick. She remembers Sakura basically kind of always watching over her while she was sick. It's important to note here that Sarada is not wearing glasses in the scenes before she's sick. Now maybe it's just that they took the glasses off because she was sick, she doesn't need them if she's recovering in bed, maybe, but there's a potential implication that she didn't have the glasses until after she recovered from her sickness. Now I don't know, you can speculate a lot about what that really means, and that are they trying to suggest some crazy stuff that happened, because for sure there are some mysterious things about Sarada's early life and the nature of her birth and stuff like that that we still need to find out. But fundamentally what this flashback is about is just showing that Sakura cared about her in her entire life. And she remembers this little moment where she's asking her mother about where her father is, and she just says he's off protecting the village. I can't tell you the full details right now, but in time you will come to realize that he's on this mission for us, to protect us, and that's what he's doing. And then she asks him, "Do you ever remember? Did you ever kiss your father, Dad?" And it's a really interesting reaction because she acts kind of like concerned, then embarrassed, and then knows the right thing to say. So there's this almost implication that they've never kissed, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just that she was kind of shocked that Sarada would ask this. And so you get her basically saying, I remember a kind of a better moment. And that's when we get the other kind of thing, the sometimes people call it the poke no jutsu, which is the other kind of big thing that's often used, and that's the classic Itachi, then used by Sasuke, now used by Sakura thing, where the two finger poke to the forehead to signify affection and stuff like that. And it works so well, just like Naruto kind of using his talk no jutsu. This works really well, just to get across this connection that Itachi did that to Sasuke. Sasuke did that to Sakura, and now Sakura is doing that to Sarada. And that is the kind of big moment there where she realizes her connection to her mother, and that she does actually want to save her mother, even though she still has all these questions. It just worked really well. It was kind of unexpected. I never thought that if they were to use that again, that it would be Sakura to do it, but it really worked in this case. That ultimately Sasuke doing that to Sakura, like at the very end of like the 700 chapters of Naruto, was such a big moment in terms of their relationship that he would do that. That means more to her than a kiss, and that's perfectly fine. That's great. So yeah, from there, basically what happens is we just get, okay, Sarada now is gonna just stay where they are. She wants to save her mother, and that's where they're gonna go. I do like that also. The implication here is that Sarada was basically gonna run off and become a Sasuke, like leaving the village and stuff like that. And this time Naruto was able to stop an Uchiha from leaving the village and causing all this pain and problems. So that's a big success. But anyway, yes. So then we get the reveal of like, okay, Sasuke. The reason why he kind of seemed a little bit underpowered in the last fight was because he'd been kind of searching the other dimensions with his eye powers, Sharingan, Rinnegan, to locate basically where to locate where the kind of source of this Kaguya mysterious power was coming from. And that's why he kind of been underpowered for now. But now he has the Susanoo back and he can use it. And based on what the little line at the end of the chapter says, they're basically going to very quickly get to where Shin Uchiha is. They're going to teleport in there, get in there somehow, and it really seems like the series, at least this arc, is coming to an end within the next couple of chapters. Like, it's not going to go on for like 30 something chapters with just this story. I can't see it lasting more than like 5-6 chapters at this stage, which works, I suppose. Like, I do really want to get some sort of a resolution for this whole Sarada thing, explain this Karin thing and what's up with Sarada's birth and stuff like that. There definitely needs to be a big talk just between that family, just Sasuke and Sakura talking to their daughter about just what's up. But yeah, anyway, that's what's happening. That's where we're going. We get a little bit of the kind of friendship back and forth argument between Sasuke and Naruto, which I really appreciated. Just that Naruto's kind of teasing him about like your eye power, it's weakened, and then Sasuke is just like, you weren't that great in the fight back there yourself, and Naruto freaks out. So that was nice to see. Just Sasuke talking a lot more than he was in the original series, and just being more kind of calm and more open to talk is definitely a really interesting kind of change for his character, because throughout the entire run of the original series, I never managed to fully connect with Sasuke, just because he was always making these decisions where you can understand Naruto's feelings, but you couldn't quite, even though they do a good job of explaining most of the stuff, you couldn't quite understand everything about him. And now here, older, wiser, you understand that a lot more. And especially when he's saying stuff like Orochimaru says, what if she's dead already when we get there? Sasuke just kind of just says, my wife's not that soft. She probably has sorted it all out already by the time we get there. And that, you kind of see Sarada kind of like, oh, like they are together and stuff like that. him calling her his wife is kind of a big moment, and complimenting her like that. He thinks she's tough and stuff like that. So that was really nice to hear. But yeah, then we get to the last kind of page. Basically, they're heading to Shinichi's hideout. Then we cut in there, and really, what he says is just like, okay, we need to get rid of these peace-loving people because they're stopping human progress, so I'm going to eliminate them. He gets up off the operating table, and basically Sakura's ready to fight, and we're going to get a fight next chapter, I would assume. Not really sure, again, where exactly they're trying to go. Again, the villain, the way he links into things is that he is all about kind of blood ties. His clones are literal, like, genetic clones of himself, and he only considers, like, factual, like, genes. This is the way that we change things, whereas it's the complete opposite to, say, Naruto, who probably best represents the opposite to that, in that most of his strong connections are people he's not related to, are people he doesn't have blood ties with. Iruka, Jiraiya, Sasuke, Sakura, and so on, Kakashi. That's what those connections are about, and ultimately the highlight of this chapter has to be, going back to the early stuff, just Naruto talking to Sakura and being the one to give advice to someone else, whereas he often would be given advice by other characters in the series before now. So that was just really good to see him talking about his connections. They have the flashback pages. They didn't really reference them. They were just kind of thrown in there just to remind everyone that, hey, Naruto does understand what Sarada's feeling, because remember episode 1. That's basically what those pages were there for. And he didn't need to, like, say that to her. He just basically kind of cuts through that and just says, like, no, you don't focus too much on blood ties. If you really feel about your mother, then it is real. And Naruto, of course, would know that, only getting to, like, know who his parents were and meet them later on in life after they were dead and through kind of crazy circumstances. So overall, I liked the chapter. It doesn't give us massive hints as to regards where the plot is going from here, but it was really nice to have kind of just the issue of basically angry Sarada dealt with here, and she's now on their side. She wants to save her mother, but of course she still is going to want those questions. I really do feel that the path they're going down is that they're going to save Sakura, and she's going to say something to Sakura like, even though you're not my biological mother or something like that, you are still my mother. And Sarada's going to consider this like a really emotional thing, that she's just been through this, because she's going to, like, assume that Sakura knows already that this is the case. But then it's obviously going to be revealed somehow that, like, no, I definitely gave birth to you. I don't know how to prove it to you right now, but I'm definitely your mother. And it's going to be this kind of shocking moment, but it's going to be like, look, it's not all about the blood ties, but actually we are related. Something like that is going to be the case in the end. And Cho-Cho was in the chapter for, like, a panel, just because, let's not forget, she's still there. The one kind of normal character among crazy Uchihas and crazy powered Hokages and stuff like that. So, yeah, good chapter. Definitely in the comments let me know what your thoughts were on the chapter and the review. Thanks for watching this video, and bye.